Well, Bev, Foxconn, this massive supplier of electronics, including Apple's iPhone, they're now offering bonuses 4 times larger than the normal bonuses per day for workers who remain on site and continue to do their shifts. So that gives you an idea of the desperation from this key supplier to get staff back and on the tools. And at the moment, we don't really have a very clear picture from this company, Foxconn, about exactly how many COVID cases are in the plant or how disruptive it has been. Some reports have suggested that it could stall iPhone production by something like a third this year. Now, this factory facility employs roughly 200,000 people. It's more like a small city in central China's Zhengzhou, and many of them live in dormitories on site. So you can kind of understand that to begin with, you already have fairly cramped living conditions normally, but then to have an outbreak in that sort of facility, it's obviously been a bit chaotic. Of the people who have left and fled, some of them have described being locked in their rooms. Conditions aren't particularly good. Others, it appear, may have left because of their general fear of catching the virus. It's a pretty chaotic scene.
Yeah, and you've seen scenes of people walking along the highways and the roads. Are they mostly worried about being locked down?
Well, we're getting a mixed picture from different accounts, Bev. Some people are saying that the conditions inside the factory as a result of the COVID measures basically forced them to go, that they haven't been able to leave their rooms because they've been quarantined. Others, though, are saying, or that they appear to be saying in social media posts, that they're also worried about catching the virus. Rumours have been circulating on the Chinese internet, completely unverified, supposedly about thousands of cases inside this Foxconn facility. That doesn't square with the official numbers in Henan province per day, which are in the hundreds. But given that the company itself is not giving a clear idea of just how much COVID is circulating or how much disruption it's causing, we don't really know how reliable the official account is, Bev.
Yeah, and of course the government line is trying to tell a very different story as to why people are walking along the roads.
Yeah, well, there's actually something quite interesting going on as this Foxconn disruption unfolds. We've had a lot of excitement in China today based on internet rumours that the Chinese government has formed a committee at the highest levels to come up with a reopening plan, preferably by March next year. Now, some documents supposedly have floated around the internet. We've seen the stock market get a bit of a boost from this. Now, it's completely unverified. The Chinese Foreign Ministry this afternoon, not that it's their department, that they were officially asked about it and said they had no information. So it's one of these things, Bev, where if it was a different country, the political leadership would just be transparent about what they're planning. But being China, a lot of people have got quite excited by this idea that even though before the Congress there appeared to be no end in sight to COVID-0, there now is some sort of move underway to try and get the international borders open. We'll see, but at the moment the rumours are suggesting that March next year is the sort of time frame that the leadership in China may be looking at.
That is fascinating, and I did wonder about that at the time of the Congress, once she was sort of anointed as this leader almost now for life. It's still not being reflected in ongoing lockdowns, say, for example, at Shanghai Disney World.
Yeah, so thousands and thousands of people weren't allowed to leave Shanghai Disney World until they were tested. Some were forced to stay in there after there was a confirmed case detected. Somebody at Shanghai Disney World. It's not the first time that Disneyland has been locked down temporarily. I remembered, Bev, right back at the beginning of this pandemic, after Wuhan, they shut Shanghai Disneyland as one of the first places to be forced to close. And here we are almost 3 years later and we're still hearing stuff like this. One thing that is kind of interesting, in recent weeks, the number of daily cases across China has just slowly crept up. It's now around 3,000 cases a day in total. Now, that doesn't sound like much by other countries' standards. By Chinese standards, though, the fact that in some of these places we haven't seen even more aggressive moves to bring it down more quickly kind of suggests to me that after the Congress, there's a little bit of an easing up. Now, other sources in China say, no, it's still the same. They're still being very aggressive. But certainly there is a suggestion that ahead of the Congress, there was a certain degree of political loyalty for officials to declare their commitment to COVID zero. And now that the Congress is over, we might actually be seeing a bit of a relaxation. But it's very much a case of watch this space.
Indeed. Great to speak to you, Bill. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Deb.